Hello everyone, this is the UltraPower UP-S4AC charger, and it's so close to being an outstanding charger. It's still pretty good, but it's very, very close. And the reason why I say it's very, very close is it doesn't do storage charging. And I get the question quite a bit here on the channel, and I've seen it posted in many Facebook groups about storage charging their 1S batteries. Some of these 1S batteries can be just as expensive as these 2S batteries, and maybe even more depending upon what batteries you're buying. And some people want to storage charge these. I know the prevailing thought is just fly it till it falls out of the air and then charge it up again and go for another fun fly. But some people don't want to do that. They want to protect their investment, and that's why I say that this is really, really close to being a product that would make a lot of people happy if it had that one feature. But let's go through the features. So as we see here on the plugs, we have 4 channels that we can independently charge according to the manual. And we have all these plugs across each channel. We've got the SM for the nickel metal hydride, and also the NiCad, I believe, fits that. We've got our 2S balance lead connector that we can charge our 2S batteries, like this, and this, and that, and this, and that. I can go on and on and on. But we also have all these others. So if you have the Micro Loci or the original PH125, we used to use that quite a bit on our whoops. JST, that's the red connector, or commonly it's a red connector, and it's quite a bit longer. And then we have the MCPX or PH20, which is our power whoop connection, which is pretty much standard on anything anymore. So you can charge batteries like this, like this, like this, and like this. Before we plug it in, I should show you this, which is our field charging option, which is to plug in a 2 to 4S battery, and you see there it takes DC 7 to 17 volts. We also have a plug over here that takes our standard AC voltage, and it does come with a cable you can plug directly into your wall. So let's plug it in. Now as I plug this in, you'll note on the screen it tells you what your input voltage is. It may have done something very, very strange to the screen, because on my screen viewing the video I can see green streaks across there. But you can see we've already got it set up. It's got set up for LiPo on these 2 channels and high volt LiPos on these 2 channels. And how you select that is you use the select button. And this is where you go into your current, and you can charge up, oh, I missed it. You can charge up to 1 amp, and then all the way down to 0.1 amp. So I'm going to have it at, let's say, 5. And then I'm going to hit the select button, go into LiPo. Let's say I want to change this high volt to just standard LiPo, and I want to change that one to standard LiPo. Then I want to change this one to high volt. So one of the things that I just did that I need to show you about is it starts here on channel 1, and when you cycle to these others, you don't want to go, if you've made changes that is, you don't want to go from channel 4 and hit the select button again, otherwise all your changes are thrown out. To save changes, you press and hold the save settings. So I'm going to go through this again so you can see this done properly. So I want to keep LiPo 1 fine. I'm going to keep that one there. I want to change this one to LiPo, and change this one to LiPo as well. And then I'm going to change this one to high volt, and I'm going to press and hold the settings, and it has save. And that will save from power cycle to power cycle. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to change these to high volt, except for one. I'll leave that one at LiPo. Okay, I've saved my settings. I've got it all set up there. We've run through the features, so let's just plug it in and see what it looks like. We use our balance lead on our battery here, and we plug that in, and you see that it starts charging just a moment after you plug in a battery. You got a PH20 here. I'll plug this one in on a different channel. It does make a loud buzzing or beeping noise that will wake the neighbors, so to speak, so you won't sleep through that alarm if you happen to nod off. It is quite loud. I think it's actually louder than my other charger. Hopefully you can see there that it's cycling through. Let me get the glare off there for you. So it tells you, in this case, you've got 2 cells plugged in, so it rotates between C1 and C2. It shows you the information about each particular cell rather than just the battery as a whole. And then we've got the milliamp that has been putting back in the batteries. Your charging rate's going to vary depending upon how quickly you charge. Like I said again, I did not test it by plugging in a LiPo. I've been using it here at home. It does charge everything fine. I did have on this channel, I had a battery that did overcharge, and I believe it was this 525, but it didn't grossly overcharge. Because this is a high volt, it went to 8.81 volts, which is high, but it stopped. And that's an interesting bit that I wanted to include, that even though I had that happen, it did stop itself at 8.81 volts. and then it displayed on the screen OV. According to the instructions, it should display OC, I believe, but it displays OV to let you know that it's overcharged and it's shut itself down. So you probably need to look into that battery and the health of it. There's a flow chart and all these different things inside the instructions. It gives you kind of a work chart here. The instructions are very, very basic. I've pretty much shown you everything that I can think of. I just wish that it had that one little feature of storage charging. Now, the next thing is price. I purchased this from RDQ, or RaceDayQuads. You can also get this from RotorGeeks out of Canada. I'm not sure on their price, so I'll have a link down below. I looked earlier, but I've forgotten. I happen to have the RDQ page up. It's $36.99. So for a field charger or a charger that does not have storage charge capability, is this a good value? Maybe I'm undervaluing the fact that this one can do 1 and 2S, whereas the other two chargers that I have that do 1S only, I'm kind of skewing towards those as having more value than this one, but maybe I've got that backwards. You tell me, how many of you would go out and purchase this at $36.99? How many of you are going to go out and purchase this at $36.99? I'm very, very curious because I could be a bit confused on my thoughts on the value of this particular charger. That's all I have. I've covered it. Hopefully we've gotten in and out of here in 10 minutes or less. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please leave those in the section down below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.